Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. So, we barely survived against the Butcher, which I need to go ahead and restore some of these tokens. Um, yeah, we probably could have made it a little bit easier if I maybe used things like the Rawhide Headband to try to pick and choose what AI cards could potentially get removed. But the biggest issue, of course, was I probably should have positioned the tall grass not based off of where I was going to be or where I was going, but rather where I was going to be after I get knocked back by traps. That would have probably helped a bit. Then again, I did roll pretty high on most of the basic actions, so it is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We do still get 4 endeavors, thankfully, because everyone came back alive, despite the fact that 3 people were unconscious. 3 people were unconscious. Out of those people, Yomu's been removed. It's going to have to skip the next hunt, unfortunately, as is Momiji. Momiji's skipping the next hunt because of the injury she suffered. Mera and Kungara are both good to go. They both have burning ambitions. They can never have to skip hunts. And let me make sure there's nothing else that I need to worry about for that. Burning ambition. Okay, yeah, they'd never have to skip hunts. Alright, good to know. Alright, so that's all been taken care of. I'll heal the wounds as we go along. Next, we need to draw a settlement event, because we love those. 1d21, 4. Just barely avoided cracks in the ground, thankfully. And we got the Dark Dentist. A cloaked woman enters the settlement. All that can be seen beneath her hood is a sparkle of perfect teeth. She offers to improve the survivors if they are brave enough. So here we can actually trade some resources to potentially get some fancy things. For the most part, most of them are not worthwhile. And to be honest, we do not have the resources to even do this. On hero mode, it's not as bad because you can go for things like Monster Tooth Dentures or Metal Maul, which Metal Maul will make your Fist and Tooth attack do an additional 1d10 strength. And then, of course, you got the +1 permanent strength. But if you do go for things like Monster Tooth Dentures or Metal Jaw, you have to roll a 1d10, and there's a chance that you could there's a 50-50 chance that the surgery will fail. And if it fails, there's a chance you'll either suffer a shattered jaw or get yourself killed and get a skull as a result. I can't afford any of these, so I can't even attempt them. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and move on. We're now going to be approaching year 5. And time to pull it up. Alright, so year 5, first things that's going to trigger is Hands of Heat. So once again, we're gonna understand fire, or attempt to. I need one lucky day. The mystery of the lantern's glow. One lucky day, a clumsy accident knocks a lantern free from the towering lantern horde. A sudden flash of heat bathes the survivors as the lantern crashes to the ground. Now shattered, the lantern light dies, but the seed of an idea begins to grow. Nominate a survivor. They gain +1 courage and can experiment with lanterns. Okay. We could potentially end up having someone end up skipping a hunt. Yumiko does not need to skip the... Trying to think here, sorry. Yumiko no longer needs to skip a hunt. That was from the murder last year, so she's up and running again. That being said, not much to show here. I'm just seeing who would probably be worth taking this for. Part of me I kind of wanted to give it to someone that I'll be actually sending out, but that is risky. Momiji. Well, I can't do Momiji. Kungara was our support originally. Yeah, I will do it for Kangara. Kangara gets +1 courage, and then I get to roll 1d10. Alright, we get the worst result. Good stuff. Alright, an agitated lantern shatters in the survivor's face, badly burned and disfigured. The survivor is exiled from the settlement as an inhuman monster. However, the other survivors learn something from the strategy. The settlement gains Lantern Oven Innovation, -1 population. Add Bone Witch to the timeline 3 lantern years from now. Alright, so now we get to have fun with the freaking Lantern Witch. Alright, so... Lantern Witch, or sorry, not Lantern Witch, the Bone Witch. So 3 years from now, we have to add the Bone Witch. So let's go ahead and do that. So year 8, we get to have the Bone Witch. And there's pretty much nothing we can do about it because all of our survivors are going to be returning survivors no matter what. So chances of getting rid of the Bone Witch is pretty much impossible. Alright, anyway. With all that said and done, let's continue. We do get the Lantern Oven Innovation, and that is it. Technically, we just killed Kangara, so she's going to be skipping next hunt. As always, I consider any sort of banishment and stuff that literally means, you know, they leave, I consider just death, and so it is what it is. Anyway, Lantern Oven's been added. We do need to add smelting. Scrap smelting is going to get added, and so is, what do you call it? Cooking. Now, the Lantern Oven does give us +1 departing survival. It also gives us heat. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do much with it right now, but departing survival is always good, so I'll go ahead and increase that. Now, the next event that's going to happen is going to be essentially what this video is going to focus on, which is the Hanged Man. This year is going to be split into 2 videos, more than likely, and you'll see why in a second. So, the Hanged Man. Let's go with... Alright, here's the Hanged Man. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Sorry, there we go. That'll work. So yeah, here's our image for the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. Suddenly, the mutilated body of a fellow survivor hangs in the center of the settlement, their life snuffed out and put on display in a horrific fashion. Your ears become flushed with a dull ring, and panic and fear creep into your mind as you struggle to comprehend what just happened. Reduce all survivors' survival to 0. Ours is already 0. Okay. And that is the wrong thing. Here's your next image. We get to meet the Manhunter. A tall, grim stranger stands before you, with eyes deeper and blacker than any you've seen. In its hand, a lantern with a distorted face emits a piercing light and a deep reverberation that fills the folds in your brain. With slow, soundless steps, the stranger advances. You call out in fright, but find you cannot speak. The only sounds that can be heard within the light of the bizarre lantern are those emanating from it. Outside of the light, no one notices the stranger. They talk in shocked and frightened tones around the hanging corpse, unaware of the danger lurking behind them. Within this soundless, reverberating pocket of light, you bear witness to something even more frightening than the events leading up to this moment. Nominate a survivor to get a deranged expression. The deranged survivor stands limp, their face staring blankly at the ground, and the faces in the ground staring blankly back at them. Sensing something amiss, the grim stranger stops its approach just inches from the deranged survivor. You can't hear it, but you can feel it, a confident laughter that splits the deranged survivor's face nearly in half. You are filled with a desperate wonder as you watch them find something terrible and dark deep within themselves. Transformed by the intensity of the situation, the deranged survivor's expression is forever changed. You are unsure whether to feel afraid of them or envious. The deranged survivor gains the Abyssal Sadist fighting art and leads the settlement into battle. Alright. The Manhunter is intrigued with the settlement. Add Special Showdown Manhunter to the following Lantern years on the timeline. Then have a Special Showdown with the Manhunter right now. So, yep, we have to depart immediately before even spending endeavors or any of that good stuff. Essentially, a Special Showdown is pretty much like if you were to resist the Kingsmen when they show up on Armored Strangers, or if you try to resist the Hand. It's a encounter in the middle of your settlement phase, and you will not get endeavors or anything like that from the encounter. Alright, so I need to pick someone to get the Abyssal Sadist fighting art. Right now, well, first I need to show what the Abyssal Sadist fighting art does. The first time you wound the monster each attack, gain +1 survival and +1 insanity. Ignore the effects of the fear of the dark and prey disorders. So whoever does the wounds will end up getting insanity and all that good stuff. I could give it to Yomu, but she's skipping next hunt anyway. So Tenchi, Mira. Oh wait, Kangara doesn't skip the next hunt. She has Burning Ambition. I completely forgot about that. Alright. Let's give it to Mara. Mara will get Abyssal Sadist. Actually, I kind of want to give it to someone that doesn't have a million things. We can give it to Tenchi. Or I can give it to Yumiko or Yorihime. Let's give it to Yorihime, the Abyssal Sadist. No, because I'm not taking her to the battle. Alright, so it's got to be someone that's going to go on the fight. I guess it would have to be Kangara. It's either Kangara or Tenchi. I think it's going to be... You know what? Tenchi. There you go. Abyssal Sadist. Alright. So that's taken care of. Next, we need to pick who we're going to take on the fight. We will take Yumiko. We will definitely take Mira, because we can't take Yomu. We did lose one of our swords, unfortunately. We do have the Butcher's Cleaver, but I think I'm going to stick with just using swords, just as part of the theme of this playthrough. Yes, it's not a good idea, but whatever. I can't take Yomu or Mobiji, so I could take Yorihime, but there's really no point in that. Is there anyone that has anything else that's kind of like standing out? Let's just take Kangara. Alright, so that's going to be our team. As for the stats of the Manhunter, here they are. 7 basic, 3 advanced, 6 movement, 8 toughness. Has 4 traits: gun action, tombstone, gritty armaments, and short stride. His instinct ability is impatience, so if he doesn't have a target, he will shoot his gun into the air, and the deafening boom will do brain damage to all non-deaf survivors. So, I have fought the Manhunter once, and it ended up severely crippling one of my characters to the point where they couldn't even be a swordsman anymore. So, there are special hit locations for the Manhunter. They will remain separate from the deck unless a card says otherwise. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and we need to first set up our gear grids, so let's do that. We got Tenchi, Kangara, Mara, and Yumiko. So Yumiko is back in action, which is great. I want her to actually use the scrap sword. And pray to God that she doesn't get wrecked. Tenchi can have the Aya combo. Kangara will be just kind of hanging out. She'll have a bone sickle. So there's that. And but yeah, she'll be using her fist, unfortunately. And that's pretty much it. So Yumiko, you have full armor in all locations. Departing survival is actually 5 exactly, just from innovations. We get 3 from essentially hovel, ammonia, and lantern oven. And we also get an additional +2 because this is a nemesis encounter, I believe. Are they classified as nemesis? They should be. Yeah, they are classified as a nemesis encounter. So that's been noted. Okay, so yeah, everyone's gonna have 5 survival, thankfully. That's what's rough about the first encounter with them is, well, 1, he comes right after the butcher fight, and 2, everyone will have 0 survival. So if your innovations aren't built, or your gear or your innovations aren't built towards stuff like that, you're kind of screwed. All right, I'm actually gonna go ahead and switch some gear around. I want Yumiko to have the dried acanthus. So what this will happen is when you suffer a severe injury, ignore it and archive the card. Because severe injuries are the name of the game on this particular fight. Alright, is there anything else I'm missing? I got gear set up. Oh, I need to set everyone's stats again. Insanity, you're fine. Mara, you have your stats where you need them. Tenchi, you're going to have 3 armor for the head, +2 insanity for departing, 2 armor, 3 armor. And then Kangara, you have 1 in the waist, and that is it. Alright, good stuff. One thing I might need to do is do Orator of Death with Mara to make sure that Yumiko doesn't die from freaking brain traumas. And yeah, this is what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and put that down, bring you guys up. Alright, let's take a look at the board setup here. Here's the Manhunter. It came from a distant Golden City. It came hunting to serve some horrifying purpose. It came without remorse, without mercy, and without explanation. It came for you. The setup for this is we do get 1 random terrain card, and we do get 2 stone. We get 2 stone column cards, which means we get all the stone columns, and they have to be set up in this little section here. All the blue areas where you can start, which is unfortunately within killing range of the Manhunter, and unlike most Nemesis encounters, the Manhunter actually goes first because he takes the settlement by surprise. Because he pretty much just like walked into the place without anyone seeming to notice him. All right. With that being said and done, let's I'll go ahead and start getting things set up here. Oops. So 2 away. 2 away. And then the rest are sideways. Like that. There you go. I think that's right. Yep, that is correct. Let's go ahead and roll a random terrain card. 18. Survivor Corpse. This can get us insanity, but you do take brain damage when you walk into it. So that's an option. Okay, it has to be 6 spaces away from all other terrain, so that's going to be fun. Put you right there, I guess. Alright, so essentially we have to be 3 spaces or closer to the 4 spaces or closer to the Manhunter. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4. So 4 spaces away. All right. Now let's go ahead and go over the abilities. Actually, can't set it up there. Go right there. Does that? No, that won't work either. Freaking A. Alright. So that's 7 spaces away. That is 6 spaces away. So if I go here, that should be fine. So there you go. There's a survivor corpse. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over the special cards that the Manhunter has. Also, this is his basic action. It's actually kind of unique because it's actually stronger than some of his normal attacks. It targets the survivor with the most bleed tokens in range, or the closest survivor. You're not taking me down. It's 3 speed, 2 accuracy, 2 damage. So it's pretty devastating. AI card, special. He has Gritty Armaments. At the start of the showdown, remove all Mangled Groin, Stake, and Mantrap cards from the hit location deck. If the Manhunter is level 3+, shuffle 4 Stake hit locations into the hit location deck. In addition, if the Manhunter is level 4, hidden traps lie underfoot, shuffle 3 Mantrap hit locations into the hit location deck. Since this is a level 1 Manhunter, we don't have to worry about any of that. Mangled Groin might come in if we crit a certain location. So yeah, it's just letting us know that in higher levels he has essentially additional trap cards. They're like one-use trap cards that are very, very brutal. Also, I completely forgot to add to the timeline. So let's go ahead and do that right now, because they're going to be pretty nasty as well. So we are getting his encounters on year 10, 16, and 22. Let's see. And they are special scenarios. So on year 16, we get to have 2 Nemesis encounters. Isn't that great? And then 22, we get the last one. It is possible to fight this guy even more than this. It really depends on whether or not you survive, whether or not you could defeat him the first times you encounter him. Alright. Alright, save the changes, and okay, we're good to go on that front. Let's go ahead and go back to the special actions. Here's gun action. Target is doomed. Turn to face the target. If target is not in field of view, perform Impatience. Ranged attack against the target. The blast leaves a painful ringing in the ears. All non-survivors within 4 spaces of the Manhunter suffer brain damage. So this is a actual ranged attack. It has infinite range, but line of sight will block it. And of course, if when he shoots this gun, it does brain damage to everyone because of the deafening sound it makes. Short stride. At the beginning of the monster's turn, move the Manhunter 3 spaces towards the closest threat and turn to face it. If the Manhunter is adjacent to any threats, perform Tombstone. And the last card is, of course, Tombstone, which is the pile driver. Attack all adjacent threats in facing. Speed 1, accuracy 4, damage 3, and it does bash. Not fun to deal with. Okay. So it's safe to say that wherever we start, it's going to go after. Sorry, it's going to short stride towards the closest threat. So yeah, right off the bat, this guy's going to get a free Tombstone off us, and then attack us. And since all of us are kind of close range characters, there's not much we can do about short stride. Later on, he gets to learn full stride, which is where he does his full movement towards anyone, then does Tombstone. But it doesn't really make a difference for us. Actually, Kongara, since you're going to be our support anyway, let's get you set up like this. I mean, to be honest, we could just have you start right next to the person. It's the Tombstone only happens to all adjacent threats in facing, so it's only going to affect the closest people, the front 2 slots. So we can do something like that and kind of get started that way. that's just about everything. Alright, so let's make a deck. Sorry, this is a bit slow going. This is my second time fighting this guy, so enjoy that. He has 20 hit locations. We need 7 and 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So don't let his stats fool you. This guy is not nice. He's going to kind of wreck us a bit, to say the least. Alright, I think that's just about everything. Alright, let's do this. Let's begin. I'll just make sure everything's set here. Yes, everything's set. Okay. Monster does go first in this case. He is going to do short stride towards the closest threat. And turn to face it. I'm going to pick Kangara and do Tombstone. So roll 1d10. Hits. And it's going to hit the arms location. Kangara, of course, can't soak that, so she's going to dodge. And that is it. Now we draw an AI card. Listen up. Closest non-death threat, field of view. Closest survivor, field of view. This is a move and attack. The Manhunter boxes your ears. If the target isn't already deaf, they suffer the deaf severe head injury. Great. Alright, so closest non-death threat, field of view, which is Kangara, so she's going to get wrecked. Roll 2d10. This hits twice. And it's legs and body. So this is going to knock her down, and she automatically suffers death. Alright, so yeah, this guy just, he piles on injuries. That's his thing. And it gets worse. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at Def. Now, what Def does is you suffer -1 permanent evasion, 1 bleed token, and you can no longer be shouted up by Encourage. So Kangara, you get -1 evasion, which essentially negates your bonus. And yeah, you're not in a good place. You're knocked down. All right, so I can't shout her back up, so no luck there. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and have Yumiko attack, because it's now our turn, and let's hope Yumiko does better than when I previously recorded this. So 3d10 hits on 3s. 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Knotted back, +2 toughness to wound this location. And if we wound it, we can cancel the next reaction in this attack. Solid shoulder. Turn the Manhunter to face the attacker. Roll 1d10. If the result is greater than the attacker's insanity, they gain prey disorder and suffer the flea brain trauma. Gritty growing. The Manhunter stumbles in rage, dropping something to the ground. The attacker gains priority target token and gets a red vial strange resource. More on the red vial stuff later. So let's go ahead and roll 1d10. Scrap Sword is 3 strength. Yumiko has no other bonuses besides mastery, so it's going to be 1d10 plus 4. That is a successful wound. Obviously, if I pick the knotted back, it's not going to work. So I'll actually go for the growing. I kind of was hoping to crit this location, but I don't want to deal with the flea brain trauma and stuff like that, because that's going to trigger no matter what. So gritty growing. And we did successfully wound. That's good. We do get a red vial, which I think I have listed in his resources. You may consume and archive this to remove 2 bleed tokens and gain +1 survival. There you go. I actually need to keep track of who gets these, so they can use them. So it'll be with Yumiko. Alright. Next, I have to pick a location. I will go for the knotted back next. This one's going to be a bit tougher to wound. And unfortunately, I just barely failed it. And I don't think you have anything special. Nope. If I was attacking from the flank, it would have been better, but whatever. Alright, so, and then the last location is a wound, but it does trigger the reflex. So 1d10, it's no matter what, it's going to be higher. So what's going to end up happening is she's going to get the prey disorder. You may not spend survival unless you are insane, so that's a problem. Well, actually, there is one thing I can't do. I can have Mara spend a survival point, and then do Orator of Death to give everyone +2 insanity. So I'll do that right now. Doesn't work on Kongara because she is deaf. And I'll go ahead and roll 1d10 just for the slight chance of it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, we still get the prey disorder, and then we're going to suffer the flea brain trauma. Gain 1d5 insanity. You are knocked down and suffer knockback equal to your movement towards the closest board edge. Gain 1d5 insanity. Okay. Now we did do a wound, so let's go ahead and move that over. And let's go ahead and roll for the 1d5 insanity. She gets 5 insanity, so now she's up to 7. So she's insane now, so prey doesn't matter. And let me see here. We have to move back 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get knocked down. I will go ahead and have Mara shout her back up. And then I will go ahead and use my movement for that turn to go ahead and move back. Alright. Now since I am I have prey, but I am insane, so I can spend my survival point. I'm gonna go ahead and surge. I failed on the saving the point, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make my 3 attacks again. 3d10. 1 perfect hit, 1 regular hit. Offhand, if you hit with a whip, gain +3 strength when attempting to wound this location. Full move the Manhunter onto the space to occupied by the attacker. And then Battle Scarred Arms. This is where the shit gets real. If the survivor is adjacent, they may spend survival. If they don't, they suffer a severe arm injury with +2 to the result. So this won't kill you, because it gives +2 to the result. But you can get things like dismemberment and things like that. So yeah, not fun. Now, first we get to go ahead and roll and see if we actually wound anything. So 1d10 + 4. I can successfully wound a location. I could go for the Battle Scar Arms, but I don't exactly want to lose my arm. So I'm going to actually go for the offhand. So this is going to do a wound. The reflex will trigger. And this is what's going to happen. He's going to move towards me. And then I need to roll for tumble. Alright, roll a 1d10 on a 6+. I get tumble will trigger. Now, I don't get a choice in this. If I have tumble, I have to use it. So 1d10, I failed it. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. And hold on a second, taking a step back. Just making sure. I wounded the growing, which means I should have priority target. Just to make sure. Yeah, so Yumiko currently has priority target. Alright, I failed the tumble roll, and I can get knockback 5, which will cancel the... Actually, it doesn't have to cancel it. I either have to knock back this way, Or I can knock back this way and still get my other attack. But if I get my other attack, there's a high chance I will suffer a arm injury for it. And I'd rather not put myself through that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, it's knockback 6. Because this is on the, this is a regular collision. Just make sure. I'm looking it up right now with the book. Oh, sorry, it is knockback 5. So there you go. Okay, so that's been taken care of. And she does get knocked down. And that's pretty much it. She did do 3 wounds, so that's better than nothing. Battle-Scarred Arms gets canceled because I'm out of range. And it's now our turn. I can't do anything with Kangara. She's kind of stuck in the moment. I can attack with Tenchi, though. So I think I will go with Tenchi next. She'll attack from behind. Well, we'll go right there. So 5d10 hits on Tenchi has no bonuses, so it's going to be 1d10 plus 5 because it's 7 base, 6 because of blind spot, 5 because of mastery. That's 4 hits. Pretty risky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Impervious, hardened torso, callous thigh, and Achilles tendon. So 1 second. So here's an Achilles tendon. It's a death blow, and it's easy to wound. It's actually pretty awesome if you can get it, because it's random fighting art and courage and understanding, and also makes everyone just nuts. Callous thigh. He will grab you if you make this happen. Hardened torso. This will do a severe chest injury with +2 to the result. And then Hunter's Hat. You can't harm it, and it's a severe waist injury with +1 to the result. So this one can actually kill you. Alright, so I get to roll the result first. So 1d10. It's base strength 3, +1 for her strength, and then +1 because of mastery, so 1d10 plus 5. That's a wound. I will apply it. I will apply it to the... Ooh, there's some choices here. My chance of critting with Tenchi is literally 10%. So one way or the other, I'm going to get kind of screwed. I'm going to go for the Achilles tendon and just wound that. Next, I will target the thigh. That's a critical hit to the thigh. The Manhunter stumbles. You may spend 2 survival to tackle the Manhunter and knock the monster down. I am spending 2 survival to knock him down. That is important. Alright, so that is another wound. Alright, so now we can take advantage of this. I'm going to go for Hardened Torso next, so I don't have to worry about reactions. That's another wound. And then for the last one, it's just going to be the hat, which the only thing that matters is if I get a natural 10, which I don't. Okay. Alright. That happened. Okay. So next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead... Now we're nearly at trap level at this point. Kangara is down. How much health does he have left? He has 3 health left. Or sorry, he has 4 AI cards left. I'm going to go ahead and surge with Tenchi. And go ahead and make the attacks. 5 attacks. Only 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Yep, trap card. I knew it! All survivors are doomed. All survivors within 2 spaces of the Manhunter suffer knockback 3 directly away from the monster. Perform gun action, target the attacker. So he does get back up. Mira is not 2 spaces away. Kangara is, though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to do a damage to Tenchi. She takes a damage to the head. She takes it. Next, it performs gun action. And all survivors are doomed. So right now, no one can spend survival. Okay. I believe he's going to turn. Let me read that card again, just to make sure. Against the attacker. Okay, that's fine. Gun action. So single attack does 2 damage. And that is it. So 1d10. That hits, and it's going to hit the waist location for 2 damage. So Tenchi takes 2 damage to the waist. Then it's going to do 1 brain damage to everyone that's within 4 spaces, which is just Mera and Tenchi. Okay. Damage has been done. And it's still our turn. This guy is standing now, which is bad. But we'll make do with what we got. Next. I could have I think we're okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to attack with Mera. She's going to use a Bone Blade. This will hit on 4s. Oh, something to note. Abyssal Sadist. The first time I wound, I get +1 survival and +1 insanity. I forgot to trigger that. That happens every time, the first time you wound for every attack. Second attack, I didn't get any wounds because of the trap card. So there you go. Okay. Mera, she's going to make her attacks. Here we go. 3d10. 2 hits. Okay. This guy is going to do severe injury to the arms if I wound it. And then this is easier to wound in the other locations. 1d10. 2 for the weapon. 3 because of mastery. 5 because of strength bonus. So 1d10 plus 5. That's a wound. I will pick the Achilles tendon. And then I will go for the battle-scarred arms. That's a wound to the battle-scarred arms, which is going to trigger the reaction. Spend survival. If they don't, they suffer a severe arm injury. Okay, I will spend a survival point. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. Next, I'll go ahead and have her surge, because I haven't surged with her yet. 3d10. 2 hits. Gun arm. And gritty visage. This one does a random... Oh, this has first strike. So I have to strike that location first, no matter what. Alright. Well, then, so there's the hard counter to my my specialization. I failed a wound. That's not great. So this thing's going to full move towards the attacker. If when adjacent, they will suffer a severe injury with +1 to result. Alright, so I'll roll hit location. It is the waist. And then it's 1d10 plus 1. That is a 3. Bleeding kidneys, 2 bleed tokens. That could have been a lot worse. And that could have killed her. Alright, so Mera, you get 2 bleed tokens. Congratulations. That's it. That could have been a lot worse. So that takes care of the visage. Next we do the gun arm. That's 11, which even with the +2 toughness still wounds. So there we go. And we got him down to 1 card left. Unfortunately, that 1 card is listen up, which is not great. Alright, so with that, he is going to full move into the Manhunter, to occupy the attacker's space. So it's going to go right there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and be knocked down. Alright, With that all said and done, I'm going to go ahead and have Tenchi shout up. Actually, I don't think it matters now. Because unfortunately, that actually put her in put her in danger, and there's not much I can do about it. So never mind, I'm not going to shout her up. Because unfortunately, I can't dash. Well, actually, she hasn't dashed this round yet. She has not dashed this round. So yeah, I will shout her up, and then I will immediately dash with Yumiko. She keeps the point. She is still priority target. And now she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get away from all of that. And in the meantime, Tenchi is also going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So yeah, that is how we're going to handle it. That ends our round, and now it's going to be What's-His-Face's turn. So new round. First thing that's going to happen is he's going to do stride. And let me take a look at this to make sure this is not 3 spaces towards the closest threat, turn and face it. And I'm just taking a look at the AI card to pick target. Okay, so priority target only applies when you're picking targets. So I don't think short stride will apply. So I'm just making sure. I'm going to look at priority target. Yeah, it only says it when you pick a target. Short stride, you don't pick a target. It just states what you're doing. So, and just to show, this is what I was looking at. It says specifically pick target. All right, so it's actually going to go after the closest threat, which is actually, yeah, closest threat and turn and face it. Okay, so that is definitely going to be Tenchi. So it's going to take 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, which is going to destroy this. And then it's going to turn and face him. Not that it matters. And then next it's going to do Listen Up. I only have 1 card left, which is Listen Up. Closest non-death threat in field of view, closest survivor in field of view. It doesn't matter because it has to go after priority target. It is within range. It does have 5 movement. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have Yumiko dash, because this is a new round, and get out of the way. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, well, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, out of range. And that will get rid of the priority target. Okay. It's our turn. Mira got knocked down during her turn, so did Kangara. Kangara is going to go ahead and just search this. She takes 1 brain damage from stepping into the location. Then searches it. 2. All she gets is +1 insanity and then archives. Okay, so she didn't find anything. So she gets her insanity back. This gets archived. And that is it. Okay. For everybody else, on the other hand, I've already dashed this round, so that's a bit of a limitation. I'm going to go ahead. How many cards have we drawn? We've drawn 4. And unfortunately, the kill location's already been drawn. I'm going to go ahead and send Tenchi up first. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll attack here. 3 attacks. 3d10. 2 hits. 1, 2. Grimacing Jaw. If we wound it, it will negate a reaction. And then the other one is the one that gives the prey and flee brain trauma thing. Alright. 1d10. +3 from the weapon, +1 from mastery, +1 from mammoth hunting. That is actually a crit. So what location do I want to crit? So I can either make him get stronger but less accurate, and then archive the card, or I can go straight for this and get another red vial. I think I want to get the red vial. So we'll go ahead and do our wound. Get ourselves another red vial. Okay. And then we need to do the other location, which is a bit tougher to wound. And we crit that location as well. And that is it. I will say that on my scrapped playthrough, this, in comparison, this went so much better. I had characters with like plus speed and stuff like that, so I had like 6 attacks on some characters, and I was rolling so bad I could not hit. I literally was not able to hit the Manhunter. Like I would roll like 10 attacks and miss like with all of them. The other issue was one of the first things that happened was my Yumiko actually got her back broken, which reduced her movement to 3, and she could no longer use any weapons that were strength 2 or higher, which is all of the swords. But this time it went a lot better. We suffered 1 severe injury, but it wasn't a permanent one. And we did suffer. Yumiko now it has a disorder, so we might need to work towards getting rid of that. But honestly, that went as good as it could possibly go. I'm very happy about that. I mean, he's not strong. Like, he's not physically strong. As you can see, he has only 8 toughness. Oh, he has 6 movement. That is my bad. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he would have moved 1 additional step. So what I'll have done is would have went here, and he would have went there. So there you go. I completely messed around his movement. My apologies, but yeah. So I would have actually moved here with my dash to get away from him, and then go from there. So that should be fine. Anyway, sorry about that. I thought he had 5 movement, but that shouldn't be an issue. I'll check the footage, but I'm pretty sure that is fine. Like I said, the point of me dashing was to get away from getting the death severe injury, which I would have negated anyway. Alright, anyway, so yeah, he's not physically strong. He has 8 toughness, but the thing that makes him tough is a lot of his hit locations have reactions that will immediately cause a severe injury. Some of them you can negate with survival, others you cannot. So that's why I brought, of course, Yumiko, because crits are important. Also, I was hoping to get some fancy stuff. You can get his hat, which is actually pretty awesome, but we weren't so lucky. But yeah, that happens. Let's go ahead and pull up the results. If you fail to beat this guy, you end up adding the lottery next year, and that's when he starts doing things like making people draw, essentially, draw coupons or whatever, and whoever gets picked ends up being just taken away. Though every time he takes someone away, there's a chance that he'll get resources out of it. The way the lottery works, though, is it's not like the way it's randomized is it's like a die result, and that die result will be like, I want the person that has the highest strength, or the person that has the most disorders, or something like that. So it's a little bit interesting, but I didn't want it to happen. Anyway, so we do get standard rewards. We still get experience and all that good stuff. The rewards are: the group realizes the settlement needs better protection. If the settlement does not have it yet already, place the settlement watch innovation on top of the innovation deck. We already have settlement watch, so it doesn't matter. Gain the reverberating lantern rare gear, and the rewards are based off the level of the monster. This is level 1, so we get a reverberating lantern, and we get to roll a d10, and if it's 2+, the survivor that did this killing blow gets tough. 1. Nope, 7. Alright, so Yumiko gets tough, which is actually really useful against someone like this guy. So what tough does is it gives you +1 to your severe injury table result, as long as you don't roll a natural 1. Does not work on brain traumas. It also can't make a result exceed 10, but that's fine. Okay, so that's all taken care of. Anything else we're missing? Well, let's go ahead and get the reverberating lantern. We'll just do it like this, lantern. There it is. It's actually a reverberating lantern, but whatever. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this. It's a tool, it's a lantern, it's unique. At the start of any hunt turn, before an event is revealed, you may Sonorous Rest, limit once per hunt. So you can actually have this little, you can actually rest. Because what the lantern does is, it was what he used to kind of sneak into the settlement, and what this can do is allow you to hide out while hunting to kind of get rested and stuff like that. It has a green connection and of course a blue connection, which is useful. Anyway, I think that's about it on that front. Just seeing some stuff we can do here. Okay. Anyway, with all that said and done, yeah, we're good against the Manhunter. That went really well. I can't complain. So, +1 experience for these guys. You guys deserve it. Kungara, sorry you kind of got wrecked. She's now deaf and has contracture. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. When we come back, we will continue with the rest of the settlement phase and, do our actual hunt. So, I am The Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster. See you guys later.